Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passenger. On this episode, 4 poems written in form. Wells Burgess said that in the sestet of his poem, that's the last 6 lines, his sonnet shifts from riffing on the language of TV mail-order promos to a poignant longing for a rerun of one's life. He said, "I will never resign myself to the loss of this childhood promise, and my writing poetry constitutes a relentless argument against that loss." Here's his sonnet, not available in stores. Just $19.95. Does your husband snore? Try this, and if you purchase it before the hour, the shipping's free. Cleaning a chore? This mop will soap and rinse and wax your floor like magic in a single stroke. Your core too flabby? Want to up your sit-up score? This machine will turn those squishy s'mores to washboard iron. But wait, there's more. We have a key that will unlock the door to ancient yearnings, la promesse de bonheur, a second run of the life you've lived, an encore, purged of loss, regret, the old rancor winnowed away. You must act now, the hour is late. Not available in stores. Not available in stores, Wells Burgess, from Passenger, issue 69. This next poem is also a sonnet, but not the 14-line sonnet that we learned about in school. This is a curtle or curtailed sonnet. Victorian poet Gerard Manley Hopkins came up with it. It's 11 lines rhyming ABC, ABC, DCB, DC, with the last line a tail or half line. John Ridland wrote this one to the youthfully aging, which he says is a curtle sonnet after G.M. Hopkins' Pied Beauty. I was that slender-eyed bedazzler once, you brood, missing the dazzle you show now, a beauty undiminished by false light, entirely yours, not obvious to a dunce, though any old-school man who tries to bow and kiss your hand should know that isn't quite the way, this century, he should pursue it. Indeed, you might well glower or knit your brow. Accepting what you have to is a rite of passage, which, if you find your way through it, stays bright. John Ridland's Curtle Sonnet to the Youthfully Aging, from Passenger, issue 67. Nancy Naomi Carlson said, "Most of us are still reeling from the losses we've experienced during the ongoing pandemic, which often brings to the fore all our previous losses, including the deeply personal ones. And yet, we go on." The poem she wrote in response to that idea, Phantom Pain, is a villanelle. A villanelle has 5 3-line stanzas. The first and third lines of the opening stanza alternate as the last line of the remaining stanzas. Then, at the end, there's a 4-line stanza that contains both lines. Got it? There's going to be a quiz. The most famous villanelle, probably, is Dylan Thomas's "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." Phantom Pain begins with the epigraph after a line by Samuel Beckett. Every loss recalls another loss, eroding more of you, a brine-lashed cave. The end is in the beginning, yet we go on. Grief springs out of sofas, credenzas, and drawers. Masking in distance can't stop the ache. Every loss recalls another loss, like delving inside a wooden nesting doll. The hard-to-open, smallest, reveals hollowed space. The end is in the beginning. We go on despite the empty chairs and beds, the way they'd want us to. To hell with booby-trapped DNA. Every loss recalls another loss. Cut out the troubled cells. Offer a leg or an arm or even 2. You'll still feel the phantom pain. The end is in the beginning. Going on, we learn to patiently sift through day-to-day dross for the words to divine the end game. Every loss recalls another loss. The end is in the beginning. Go on. Nancy Naomi Carlson's villanelle Phantom Pain from the brand new, not even in the mail yet, Passenger, issue 74. We'll end with a riddle poem by Nan Fry. She said, "I enjoy riddle poems because they refresh our perception of the world by presenting something ordinary and familiar in a way that is mysterious. And what is more mundane and mysterious than the platform that launches us into our dreams?" With that hint, see if you can figure out what the answer is. With 4 legs and 1 foot I cannot move, yet I carry you off. The clothes I wear keep you warm. Though I'm not a boat, I float you on a tide of change. When you ride upon me, the familiar grows strange. Nan Fry's poem, Riddle, from Passenger, issue 50. It's easier sometimes to understand these poetic forms when you see them on the page, or screen, so you can see these poems and their forms by going to the Burning Bright page on Passager's website. To subscribe to or learn more about Passager and its commitment to writers over 50, go to PassagerBooks.com. You can download Burning Bright from Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and various other podcast apps. For Kendra, Mary, Christine, Roseanne, and the rest of the Passager staff, I'm John Shore. The answer to the riddle poem, by the way, is a bed.